Alright, so here we are in New York, which is going to be the place where the toxic 20s scare zone will take place. Now the story of this is that a group of mobsters just recently robbed a bank, the Barmy Bank, which is a distant nod to the Triplets of Terror house from last year. And what happened was that during their pursuit from the police, in which they were evading them, they ended up crashing into a truck full of chemicals from BuzzCon. Now, if you don't remember, BuzzCon is the company behind the events of Bugs Eaten Alive. So the thing is, this was also at a time when Prohibition was a big deal. And for those who don't know what it is, it was actually a period in which, in order to curb down on crime, many cities decided to pass the Prohibition law, which prohibited alcohol, all vending and consumption. So as you can see here, we have a political post stand, and over here we got a newsstand that features all sorts of things that have been affected by the accident. So here's some of the headlines. BuzzCon spill, citizens turn into monsters. Toxic city, BuzzCon Industries responsible. Gangster chase goes wrong. Police suspect Diamond Joe Malone and his gang. Rat poison causes mutations. And here we have some vintage props. Now, in a way, the way I see this, if you are familiar with the music video for All Right by Janet Jackson, which takes place sometime in the 20s, in which Janet had dreams of meeting Cab Calloway and Sid Charisse, it is similar to this. The big difference is that the video for All Right was filmed in the New York backlot of Universal Hollywood in February of 1990. Just a few short months shy of our New York opening at Universal Studios Florida. So as you can see, we have slime-covered walls, which I'm pretty sure there will be some UV lights that will make it glow green. And I do believe this is going to be a food stand, but the entrance is still a mystery. Let's go ahead and go to the center of the mayhem. And also, something to take note is that this year, the tribute store is going to be at the Palace Theater. The idea is that it's going to be centered around a museum, pretty much similar to the museum scare house last year. And over here we have another stand, which is going to feature characters. So this kind of looks like what seems to be a back alley next to a sewer. And as you can see, the whole place is filled with the BuzzCon rat poison. Now let's go here to where the real incident happened. And by real, I mean the events that led up to the scare zone being into what it is. So as you can tell, here we have a police car which was pursuing the infamous mobster Diamond Joe. whose heist at the Barmy Bank went horribly wrong, because during this pursuit, Diamond Joe accidentally rammed his car onto the truck up front, which has BuzzCon, rat poison, and other insecticides. And of course, with all this spilling all over the city, mutant hell breaks loose. And like I said, if you look at this, you'll notice that the money bags belong to the Barmy Bank. Now, if the Barmy surname rings a bell, that's because it's the same. It may be related to the same house, to the Barmy family involved in the Triplets of Terror house last year. And here we have a florist stand, which has been deeply affected by the accident. And of course, we all know what happens when you mix toxic sludge with flowers. And it's definitely not a pretty picture. Case in point, beneath these sewers from the classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, when a plant ends up being splashed with retro mutagen ooze, which creates a giant plant monster. Now over here we have several food stands over at Gramercy Park. First we got the Vault 33 stand, which is going to be based off of Fallout. Over here we have the Firefly Funhouse food stand, which is based off of the Firefly Funhouse gimmick that Bray Wyatt had, which was pretty much a twisted version of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. And here we have Mercy the Buzzard, Sister Abigail, Ramblin' Rabbit. Now, of course, Ramblin' Rabbit would end up being the butt of the joke because he would often be the one getting attacked by Bray. For example, in one scene, after saying some things, Bray, who was dressed up as Chris Jericho, who at the time was with New Japan, and for a while, he ended up dressing up as him, who was dressed up as Alex Large from A Clockwork Orange, and he bludgeons Rambling Rabbit with a mallet. And over here we got the register for the Firefly Funhouse, which looks like a prop Zenith style TV. Now what's interesting is that the house is going to be quite different, because in Orlando it's going to be based off the Firefly Funhouse sketches, while the Hollywood version is going to be the Wyatt compound, where the Wyatt family would reside in. Let's go ahead and check out the two Terrifier themed houses. Food stands. Now here we have the Clown Cafe, and one of the delicacies that's going to be in this food stand is a bloody popcorn chicken, which is going to be popcorn chicken and a popcorn box with pizza fry elements that represents the gore that's seen in the Terrifier movies, which includes tomato sauce, chunks of sausage, I think some cheese, to represent muscle and sinew. Here we have the other stand. And that's pretty much it for this area.